Good afternoon.
Greetings. I'll be holding the mic up. I'm outdoors and there are waves beyond me. It's a sunny day. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I wanted to make a follow-up human design video on the topic of alignment. Now, my previous video was about manifestors. That was mainly an introductory video. Now this will be more so a video on quickly covering the 5 signatures and the 7 authorities, which are essential to be aware of if you will be experimenting and familiarizing yourself with your individual energy signature, your personal authority, and your strategy. Now, there's plenty of information online around these characteristics, these keys. So now, I'll quickly step through them. As you know, or may not know, the 5 energy types are 1. Generators, 2. Manifesting generators, 3. Manifestors, 4. Projectors, and 5. Reflectors. And now, the 5 strategies. Very quickly, generators are... their strategy is to wait and respond to an initiation or essentially what will excite them, which would be their signature of self versus being dissatisfied. Manifesting generators, very similar. Their strategy is to respond and inform. That is, to respond to an external invitation, initiation, and to likewise inform, similar to manifestors. Followed by, again, excitement and feeling excited essentially by that initiation, or their not self typically would be being frustrated. The manifestors, again, they are their strategy is to inform. They're all about initiating, so they receive a download and they would inform those whom they would impact via, their strategy of informing, which is communicating essentially, but it could take various forms of informing. Now, manifestors are the only ones that don't need to wait or be invited. They're self-initiating, and their natural self is to be peaceful. This is how we know that they're aligned. And if they're misaligned, they will typically get angry or feel that anger. And again, within the human design perspective, emotions are simply feedback. Emotions are a way that we assess how aligned we are and how attuned we are to our natural self. Okay, so next are projectors. Projectors, their key signature, what their self is to be essentially successful. That is, to be seen, recognized, and basically perceived as successful. Someone who one could receive counsel from, and their strategy is again to wait for an invitation to be recognized by the other types, and to then present their astute, their very perceptive and deep ability to provide their wise counsel and their insights. And last, the reflectors. This is a unique type in that all their centers are undefined. So they're the most, we could say, chameleon-like. They tend to be a reflection of their environment and the people that they're surrounded by. And they serve as a mirror to reflect the health and quality of how their community, the people in their tribe or their environment, how they're doing, as they absorb and reflect that essentially energy. So their strategy is, per the human design system, is to wait for a lunar cycle, which is 28 days, the lunar phases, right? So we have the new moon, waxing, full moon, waning, and we return to the dark moon. And we begin the cycle again. It's not exactly clear to me how exactly a reflector is meant to wait those lunar cycles. I think it's on a case-to-case basis, and they would determine for themselves what is their waiting period, but it's generally one whole lunar cycle for them to sample, experience, feel out, and know if this is aligned for them or not. And their self, when they're another natural signature, is to feel this state of delighted like surprise, like a like a spark of awe and wonder and surprise, as opposed to their not self, which would be a state of disappointment, being let down, which again is feedback, and it informs them as to what is aligned, if they are in alignment, and to recalibrate. And again, this is all experimental. This is not a gospel strict I think system. You can play with it, you can explore and experiment. I have found it has been significantly helpful in creating greater peace for myself as a manifestor, and in observing the dynamics interpersonally with others. Ultimately, I think only you as an individual would know what is most attuned, most aligned for you. And alignment, ultimately, I would say, is being your most authentic, natural self. When you decondition as much of the societal programming, conditioning that you accrue from, we could call it the matrix world, the social conditioning, essentially, and any limiting beliefs, a lot of it is just mental. Majority of it is mental. And the beauty of this system is that it is about dropping, it's about listening to our innate wisdom, intuitive wisdom, and returning to our most sovereign self, where we are led by our inner authority. And speaking of authority, I'll very quickly go through the 7 centers. I won't be going in depth, but I'll just quickly list them out. and I highly recommend you look up your authority, which is how you will make decisions and on your path if you experiment. So there's one, emotional authority, which comes in waves. And I believe that's attuned to the solar plexus. And then we have sacral authority, which is aligned with the sacral center. Typically, the generators, manifesting generators, have this defined. The splenic authority is the third. Fourth is the ego authority, sometimes described as the heart authority. It's all about desire, willpower, the willpower to get what you desire. And then fifth is the self-projected authority, which one speaks out loud to hear what they're really deciding as they speak it. Mental environmental authority. This is a rare authority. And lastly, the lunar authority, which is again the reflector authority, where clarity builds over time across a full lunar cycle, as we've already described. And well, there you have it. I'll just keep it at that. There's plenty of info on the human design types, the 5 types, and the strategies and the authorities. So I highly recommend that you look into them, that you explore further, and let me know what your type is. Feel free to drop a comment and mention what your signature is, and if you've already been on this journey or if you're new to this. And if you have any questions or feedback, feel free to share. And I hope this has been helpful. And all my best to you. Thank you for listening.